Hello everyone, my name is Oscar and I'm the Wedding Guru. I'm super excited to be introducing the interactive Facebook Lives with the Wedding Guru Oscar for you today. I've got a fantastic guest speaker organised for you as well. Lisa Sansom from RubyLemon is joining us in just a moment. But before we get started, I just wanted to do a couple of housekeeping things and just introduce things in general. So as we're going live in my Facebook page, The Wedding Guru Oscar, and we're also going live in my Facebook group, which is the interactive Facebook Live with The Wedding Guru Oscar. If you're following us already, fantastic. We're going live and you're in the right place. And we're streaming to both of these platforms, both of these group and the page from StreamYard. StreamYard is an online streaming software, which means that when you actually, sorry guys, I'm just checking that everything works. Yes, we're good. We're good. All live, fantastic. As we're going live in StreamYard, that means that when you guys comment in the boxes below, you need to make sure that before you comment and you want your face and your name to appear in our comment box, make sure that you follow a little link right above in the description. It gives StreamYard permission to share your name on the screen. If you decide not to do that, that's absolutely fine. There's no problem at all with that. But when you make comments or ask us questions, just mention our name before you make the comment or question, and that way we can get back to you specifically and address you by name as well. We are super ecstatic to be hosting you this afternoon for this one-off opportunity to speak with Lisa, talk about her 25 years experience in the entertainment sector. She's got tons of ideas, wedding planning tips, entertainment hints for you as well. And so she is looking forward to be joining us very shortly. I'm just making sure that we've got plenty of us in the Facebook Live just now. I see a few faces popping up. Hello, Kelly. Hi. Kelly's already joined us. Yeah, two of my favorite people. Thank you very much. You're our favorite person as well. And we were just actually chatting about you before we started, Kelly. So thank you very much for joining us and rooting for us as well. So that's what happens, guys, when you give us permission in the little link above in the description. We are able to show your questions and comments up on the screen, and your name appears there as well. So if you wanted to do that, please go ahead and ask us questions as well. Like I said, we're going live, so we want to make this session as interactive and as fun, as informative as possible for yourself. So the more questions, the more comments, and the more engagement we've got for you, the more relevant and the more informative we can make it for you as well. So we highly encourage all comments and questions in the comment box below today as well. Love hearts from Kelly. We send you our love hearts back as well. And please do say hello in the comments below, introduce yourself, tell us where you're coming from. We really want to get to know you guys, and we want to give you as much information as possible. We're estimating about 45 minutes to 60 minutes for this session today. There's plenty to get through. Lisa has organised a lot of interesting things to get through as well. We've got the official questions, which I've organised and shared with Lisa in advance of the session, but we will go through live questions. That's why we want to make it interactive for you guys as well. If you are joining us on repeat, please make sure that you comment #repeat in the comment box below. That way Lisa and I can come back after the session, the live session is finished, and make sure that we answer any of your questions as well. This Facebook Live that is streamed from StreamYard will be available on my page and in my group, and also in my YouTube channel, which I recently started, and all my Facebook Lives this far, all of these fantastic interviews I'm hosting for you guys will be available on YouTube channel as well. So you can always go back to them and refresh your memory if there's something that we've mentioned before as well. Perfect. I'm just making sure that we've got everyone here in the group. Perfect. We've got quite a few of us already joining. Again, guys, for those of you that have just joined us, say hello, introduce yourself, tell us where you're coming from in the comment box below. The more interaction we can have from you, the more questions and the more comments we've got, the more informative and relevant we can make it. But without further ado, I'll get started and I'll introduce our guest in just a moment. Before we get started, just a little bit of an overview, sorry. I got stuck there. A bit of an overview of what's happening today. So, what we're doing is we will start with a little introduction. We will then move on to the interview where I will introduce Lisa, and Lisa will be going through her questions and she will be answering your life questions as well. And then there will be an official open Q&A right at the end of the session. So if you're not sure about asking questions at the time, you can save them for the end of the presentation and you will be able to ask Lisa all the questions at the end as well. But we highly encourage to ask the questions as you remember them, as they're fresh in your mind, in the little comment box below. And like I said, if you are wanting to share your name, make sure that you follow the little link above us to give permission to StreamYard to share your name on the screen as well. This is very exciting, guys. A little bit of an introduction about myself. So my name is Oscar. I am the Wedding Guru Oscar. I have started the Wedding Guru Oscar back in December 2019, just before the wonderful COVID touched us all. And I send my love to all of you in wedding planning at the minute because it is a challenging time. But myself, Lisa, and so many wedding professionals out there would love to help you, and I'm sure many of them are very accommodating and helpful in this time as well. A little bit about my background. Before that, I have been involved in the wedding industry for over a decade. I started back in 2009 for the first 4.5 years of my career. I was responsible for delivering weddings on the day. I was acting master of ceremonies. I was looking couples from arrival for the bridal prep, for the groom's prep, all the way through the wedding day itself, on the day coordination, staffing, orders, general schedule of the day, all the way to the couple headed to their bed as well. So I've got a really good and strong understanding of the logistical planning that is involved with wedding planning as well. And after 4.5 years, I was offered my first wedding planning role within a group of hotels, 4 hotels in Edinburgh. I was looking after their weddings. At the time, it was about 50 to 70 weddings a year we were looking after for them as well. And I was involved in the entire process. A year later, I was kind of developed in my role, and I've moved on to the luxury market, 3 luxury city centre venues in Edinburgh. I was looking after over 130 weddings each year for 3 of those properties, and that was probably the pride of my career at the time. I was responsible for looking after couples from the moment of inquiry through the entire wedding planning process, menu tasting, final details planning, individual consultations, and on the day coordination as well. And it was at that time that I was very fortunate to have been nominated by my wonderful couples for 4 awards with the Scottish Vows Awards and also the Scottish Hotel Awards that I have received the recognition from as well. During that time, I have also had the honour to contribute to publications with the biggest wedding blog, Love My Dress, and also the biggest Jewish wedding blog, Smashing the Glass as well over the years, also contributing to more local Scottish publications with the Scottish Wedding Magazine, Tide and Knot Scotland, Luxury Scottish Weddings, and also My Scotland Wedding, which are absolutely fantastic if you're looking for inspiration and motivation for your wedding planning as well. But enough about me. I think we want to get to know the guest that is here for us today, especially. So let's get started. And I'm just going to head over to the first question and unmute Lisa, pop her up on the screen. Lisa, welcome. So happy to have you with us today. I'm super excited to have you with us. We've met with Lisa in one of the groups, actually with Kelly Mortimer, with Hitched and so many other people in the industry. And I have had the pleasure of learning so much about you. I've always been impressed about what you do, and I just couldn't imagine not having you on the panel today. Lisa will be sharing a lot of things throughout the interview today. So guys, if you've got any questions for Lisa, pop them in the comment box below and she will make sure that she can answer them as well. If we don't manage to answer all the questions during the live, we will go back in the comment boxes and make sure that we answer them afterwards as well. So Lisa, let's start with the first question. Could you tell us who you are, what you do in your role, and what RubyLemon is all about, please?
Thank you for having me, Oscar. So I am Lisa Sansom, and I am the director of RubyLemon, We are an event staffing and entertainment agency, and we operate all over the UK and throughout Europe, providing unique entertainment acts, bands, singers, event staff, you name it, we've got it. It's anything and everything entertainment. We have over 2,000 acts on our book, so we have got plenty of acts to tell you about, definitely. So within my role, I work very closely with our couples. So I meet with them either over Zoom or in person, depending on where their wedding is and what type of entertainment they're going to have. And I get all of their requirements and put together a lovely proposal of what acts they can have for their event for them to choose from. And then I work with them right through to the point of the event going ahead or the wedding going ahead, and I'm there on the day to make sure everything runs smoothly for them.
Absolutely perfect. Just the range of things that you can actually sort out for couples is something that always impressed me so much. Yeah. And seeing the photos you were sending to me for the presentation today, and seeing all these guys in action and making such a big difference to the weddings is absolutely fantastic. And it's actually one of the questions I've got for you organisers, the next question. So let's get moving to question number 2, Lisa. Could you tell us why wedding couples should be considering entertainment for their special day?
So you may have noticed the first thing I did when I talked about a wedding was described it as an event. That's the reason why. You are in charge of putting on an event for all of your guests, and you wouldn't attend any other event without entertainment. So Absolutely. You need to entertain your guests. They are there to celebrate your day, but they are also there to have a good time. You need to keep everyone entertained. So Absolutely. I think definitely so important to make sure that your guests are happy as well as you are.
Absolutely, and I think it's, you know, based on my experience, you've got 25 years experience in the industry as well, and it makes a difference when you attend a wedding and there's maybe not as much entertainment, or guests have to hang about for quite a long time during turnarounds and stuff like that. It makes a difference if they're left to do nothing and they just feel a little bit maybe overwhelmed with it, or just not maybe as much entertained or comfortable as they would want to be. So very, very fair point, very, very good point there as well.
Yeah, and I think it impacts upon the couple as well. So if you don't have enough entertainment, your guests are looking to you all of the time. And although you want them to look to you at certain points, you don't want them looking at you for what to do at all different times. You want to you want to enjoy your time as well. So you need your time alone as a couple on the day, and especially the time with your family. So you want your other guests who are not part of the bridal party to also have their time away from you to allow you to have your time.
Absolutely. You've made a very, very important point here, because actually getting that entertainment, I see a lot of couples, the conversations I quite often have with couples is they're so excited about their wedding day, they're planning a lot of things for it, but some couples don't feel comfortable with being the center of attention. And obviously they will be for their ceremony, maybe for the cake cut and first dance and stuff like that, but maybe they're not feeling that comfortable with being always the center of attention. So having that entertainment gives them a little bit of space, gives them a little bit of freedom and doing their own thing, whether that's photography or just spending time with their family and actually accommodating for things as and when they want to. So you're absolutely spot on with that one. I think you're absolutely brilliant with that one. I'm just checking for comments. Sorry, I was just checking for comments if there's any questions or comments. We've got fantastic comments popping up from everyone as well. Guys, one of the things that I wanted to say to you, please ask questions. Lisa is with us only for this one interview. So like I said to begin with, in our interview today, the more questions we've got, the more comments we've got there, the more interactive and the more relevant we can take this and make this session for you as well. So please pop comments in the comment box below. Questions, answers, everything like that will be absolutely perfect. We will try to answer as many questions as possible for you today as well. And if you wanted to share your name in the little description below, you can give us permission, but you don't need to. You can just pop the questions in the comment box below. Fantastic. Just checking. There we go. We've got some suppliers joining us who would love to speak and work with you as well. And we will definitely refer details over to Lisa as well. Jan, it's lovely to see you joining us as well. Lovely. If there's no more questions at this stage, we're going to move on to question number 3. Oh, there we go. We've got one of the questions here. What's the strangest thing someone has booked for a wedding?
Oh, we have had all kinds. Yeah, this is definitely the strangest one. So we had a call from a groom who wanted to book stormtroopers as a surprise for his bride. But it was him who liked Star Wars. Right. So, I mean, she was happy, but it was definitely for him.
Yeah.
100%. So that was the strangest. So yeah, it was surprise stormtroopers.
What was the bride's response to that?
She was happy. She liked it. She was having a great time.
Oh,
I mean,
brilliant.
I'm not sure what she said when they got if he got in trouble.
Do you know what? It actually makes sense because it's all about both of the couple getting involved in the wedding planning. So if there's a bit of character from both of them, why not? Absolutely. And I'm sure guests would have loved it as well.
Yeah,
so that's fantastic.
It's such a good photo opportunity as well. So you can get, as the night's going on and it's getting later, throwing that little bit of different entertainment in gives it that added kind of photo opportunity at the end as well.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, we've got more questions coming thick and fast. Then we've got a question from Don Stafford at the Scottish Wedding Magazine. Any ideas for on-trend entertainment during drinks receptions?
Yeah, I think you've always got your kind of traditional magicians for drinks receptions. That just works fantastic. It's just classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is definitely an ongoing trend. And I think we have got some beautiful champagne skirts, so it's a giant skirt which holds kind of 50 champagne glasses, and the guests can take their drinks from there.
That works. I've seen some of the photos.
So it's interactive as well, because I think interactive entertainment, maybe not right now, but maybe in a few months' time, is fantastic. You don't want there to be a distance between your guests and the entertainment. You want it to all be connected, so the champagne skirts work beautifully.
I think you're absolutely right with that one. There's one place in Edinburgh I've attended a little kind of work night out, and they had actors actually getting involved. They had orchestra. They were coming up to the tables and filling the space, and it was just the acts that made such a difference and made you feel like you were involved in everything else that was going on there as well. So actually, I've seen the photo you had. The lady, she's beautifully dressed. She's in character for sure, and she's got this beautiful champagne dress. I just loved it because it looks brilliant, but it's also so fun to do it rather than having the champagnes on trays and stuff like that. Having it in that dress construction, that was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, it works amazing.
Absolutely. Well, we've got another question. Actually, we've got a comment from Jenna saying this is a strange one indeed about the stormtrooper. So interesting one for sure. And I'm sure the bride and the groom and the guests have been absolutely blown away by it as well. And Kelly is asking us, what's on trend for 2021?
So I've noticed a huge increase in inquiries for aerial performers, in particularly an aerial performer who can pour champagne for the guests as well. So they would be on their aerial rig and they would be pouring the champagne for the guests. Again, it's got that interactive element as well.
Yeah.
So I think just anything that's a little bit interactive is what is definitely going to be the 2021 trend.
Brilliant, fantastic.
We hope by then it can be interactive.
Exactly. Well, 2021, we should be all right. We've got another question from Kelly. What's the most Instagrammable entertainment?
I think anything that is big and feathery and anything over the top. So I think with entertainment, people worry about going too big and
Yeah.
too much. And I don't think that's a worry you should ever have. We've got some fantastic mirror men. They are, I think you might have a picture on here somewhere.
I think it was the one before that.
And yeah, perfect. So yeah, they're so Instagrammable because everyone can be in the picture with them. Again, you don't have that disconnect. You're there. You're in the photo as well. Your guests can get a selfie with the mirror man, I guess.
Do you know what? I've seen that actually, Dan. I was down for a conference in London. No, it was Birmingham actually, and they had those guys. I think exactly. They might have actually worked with you before. I don't know because I was a guest to this conference, and there was a dinner at the end, and they had those mirror guys coming out during the meal. Then the saxophone player followed behind them, and they came a part of this entertainment that was like you didn't know where to look because there was so much going on, and absolutely it makes such a difference. And Kelly says his wow sounds epic. Absolutely spot on. Fabulous, perfect, guys. Thank you very much for all the interaction so far. You're absolutely brilliant and engaging. Like I said before, if there's any questions you would like us to answer during this Facebook Live today, we've got only a one-off opportunity to speak to Lisa in this live interview. So make sure that you pop your questions in the comment box below, and we will try to answer as many as possible during this session. If you don't mind, Lisa, I'm going to move on to the next question. I see more and more things popping in as well, so we will try, guys, to answer as many questions as possible. But let's move on to question number 3. So, Lisa, could you tell us on average how long do you work with each couple? How much in advance do they book, and how much time you spend with each couple?
So that really varies. So a lot of the time, entertainment is one of the final things that people choose to book. I think it should be the first, but sometimes it is one of the kind of afterthoughts as to do we have room in this for our budget? So sometimes we jump in as late as the week before.
Wow.
Kind of, do you have anything extra we can pop in and do on the day? Or we're always happy to do that. We're always happy to kind of add that on. The average time is about 3 months beforehand. So we slot in nicely around the rest of the plans. So you kind of need to know what else you're having and where we can fit in amongst that. But we can always, bands usually earlier, but entertainers definitely closer to kind of 3 months before.
Fantastic. Do you know what? It's actually statistically, and surprisingly to me initially, was the fact that wedding budgets stretch the most in the last 3 months before the wedding. That's when all of a sudden couples get this kind of influx of budget, and they start planning the additional things, which is great, because if they can do these extra wow factors, then that's absolutely fantastic. And as we've said, it makes such a difference to the entertainment part of the wedding and just to the whole experience. So that's brilliant. Okie dokie. We've got more questions for you, Lisa. So I'm just going to start with Holly's question. Actually, we've got a Facebook user. Hello, Facebook user. She says, seen your work with our friends, girls. That makes great stuff. Brilliant, fantastic. Again, a testimonial to you guys doing a fantastic job at events and weddings as well. We've got a question from Holly. Holly's asking, can your acts travel anywhere, or do you have restrictions?
No, we are happy to travel globally. If you are having an event far away, we would love to come along. We can either source acts that are local, or we can happily travel.
Absolutely perfect.
That's every act, everyone.
Makes sense. One of the things that I would want to say to you guys, actually, obviously I'm based in Edinburgh. That's my kind of background. I've looked after wedding venues in Scotland throughout my career, but actually Lisa is based in London with RubyLemon. But Lisa has worked with venues here in Edinburgh as well, and everywhere in Scotland. So she can travel, and she can put acts into your weddings, into your events here in Scotland as well. So I highly recommend, if somebody is sitting here now thinking, oh my God, this is amazing, don't worry, she can look after Scotland and Edinburgh for you as well. So that's brilliant. We've got Jenna asking another question. What complementary and unique performer would you suggest for a first dance?
I definitely think something musical, maybe a sax player, where you could ending the first dance, the sax player can come out as your dance is finishing, and then it kind of changes the mood slightly. We can also, if you want very unique, we can do mirror men playing sax. So that's very unique. So yeah, or you could just go for the sax player if you want to keep it.
That is brilliant. And do you know what? Probably the most bizarre thing that maybe not the most bizarre, but a unique thing that I've done for a wedding before. A couple's booked a Mickey and Minnie Mouse actors dressed up in the outfit, and they did the first dance alongside the couple on the dance floor, kind of next to them. It was so cute. They were lovers of Disney. It just made sense. But I was like, wow, how often do you get Minnie and Mickey Mouse dancing the first dance with the couple? Absolutely fantastic. Just reminded me of that as well. Kelly's asking another question. If a couple has a smaller budget, what do you recommend?
There's so much you can do with a smaller budget. So how we do our kind of packages for our clients, we show them everything in different packages. So we have ones that suit a smaller budget or a middle budget or kind of a high-end budget. So if you've got a smaller budget, you might want to go for just a magician or just a sax player or some fire performers. Just go for kind of one of them rather than a full show. But there is definitely so much you can do with smaller budgets as well.
Fantastic. Good to hear that, because obviously there's such a range of budgets in weddings, and it's good to be able to know that no matter budget, you can actually do so much with it. And like we said, it makes such a difference to the overall experience of your guests, for sure. Perfect. Right. I'm just checking for any more comments or questions here. I think we're up to date so far. So let's get moving to the next question here. Now, Lisa, I'm just checking. Yes, I've jumped. There we go. What's your involvement in the wedding planning? How do you help couples plan? How that kind of works from your perspective?
So what I like to do is have a look at an overview of their full day. So they show me kind of an itinerary of what they've got, and then I see where it would be nice to kind of to fit some entertainment in. So if they've kind of got a hour or so for the photos, but they've maybe not thought, where are my guests during that time? What are my guests doing? I will then suggest, okay, maybe we put a band on at this time, or we do an aerial performance while you're getting your photos, so your guests are done then. So I like to look at what they've already got and add to it.
Perfect. So kind of complement their when they plan with acts that can actually tie in quite nicely. Brilliant. That sounds fantastic. Brilliant, guys. We've got another question from Holly. Holly's asking us, do you ever create something totally bespoke?
Yes, we can. So we can get our costumes made bespoke. So let's say you've got a certain design within your cake or your decor, and you want to incorporate that through to your acts. We could incorporate that design into the costumes. And I think that works amazingly with ballerinas. So if you've got kind of a certain type of material and we put the ballerinas in like a tutu, the same as the pattern on the cake, it just ties the whole day together beautifully.
Brilliant. That sounds fantastic. It's all about personalization as well these days, making sure that you are responsive to what's going on in the wedding and accommodating for couples' requests. So that makes perfect sense. Lovely, guys. We are halfway through our interview so far. For those of you that have maybe joined us just recently, we are going live in my Facebook page, The Wedding Guru Oscar, and in my Facebook group, the Interactive Facebook Lives with The Wedding Guru Oscar. All these sessions will be available in my page, on my Facebook group, and also on my YouTube channel after the session is finished. If you are joining us on repeat, make sure you comment #repeat in the comment box below, and that way Lisa and I will be able to come back to any questions after the sessions have finished. We highly encourage questions. As we see, there's plenty of questions coming in today, so we highly encourage more so we can help you with your wedding plans as well. And pop the the questions in the comment box below, and we will try to answer as many of them as possible. Perfect, Lisa. Let's move into the next question. So the question is, what's your involvement in the wedding planning?
So, like I say, we often jump in at the kind of end part. So we're not overly involved in the initial plans, but we would come in if they've got a planner on board, speak with their planner, kind of speak with them and see what they've got already in place, and make sure that we fit in logistically as well. So speaking with the coordinators, speaking with the planners, making sure we've got it's all organized for us to have somewhere to not be seen before we're performing, and making sure we've got all the kind of logistical things that we need.
It's actually, as you were talking about the logistics, one question popped into my mind off the cuff, and I hope you don't mind me asking. What's the biggest logistically structure or entertainment that you've planned for a wedding before or an event?
So we have set up kind of full circuses and places. So we've kind of sourced the big top, and then we've brought kind of 50 performers in. Wow. So it's kind of the making sure we've got everyone there at the right time and making sure they're on stage at the right time. So our kind of coordinating has got to be very on point, because if you're slightly out for entertainment, it doesn't work. You've got to be on point.
Absolutely. That's brilliant. I've attended an event before where there was a circus act coming onto the dance floor, and how impressive that is absolutely fantastic. So for you to be able to coordinate so many different actors and acts into it, absolutely outstanding. I've seen it, and it is absolutely brilliant and so impressive as well. Okay, guys, I'm just checking for any more of your questions or comments. Like I said before, the more questions, the more comments we've got from you, the more interactive and relevant we can make it. So we highly encourage for you to pop the comments in the comment box below. Perfect. We're going to move on to the next question as we're waiting for more questions popping in. So, Lisa, a big question here. What do you recommend for couples to do to make the most of their special day?
So, two things. I think, so that you can enjoy your time, like I said before, make sure your guests are entertained while you're busy. So particularly during the photos, that's the most important part. The guests need to have something going on. So don't forget about the guests while you're thinking about what you need to do. And secondly, make sure you get everything videoed, even your entertainment. You're probably not going to have a lot of time to sit and watch maybe the full act or everything. So if you video it, you've got it there to look back on, and then you've got that memory forever, and you're still going to, you don't want to plan a full performance and then not watch every bit of it. So you want to be able to watch it back.
No, absolutely. I think again, very good point here. You're not always there. You can't see absolutely everything that's happening. It's a massive regret of mine that we've never had a videographer at our wedding. We had a fantastic photographer who shot the wedding, and we've got beautiful photo albums, but we never had a videographer. And that's something that if I could go back and change, I would have definitely taken a videographer, because you're away for photos. And even if you're there, you're maybe speaking to somebody, you miss certain things of the day as well. And when you've got entertainment, and we had a magician at our wedding as well, it just kind of escapes you, and you don't get the full effect of what you've planned for your special day as well. So brilliant advice here. Thank you very much, Lisa. Perfect, guys. We're just checking for any comments from you guys. I'm just going through the list. We've gone a little bit quieter, which is absolutely fine. Maybe some of you are saving the questions for the open Q&A later in the interview. But I'm just checking if there's anything else popping up in the questions here. I think we're good so far. So we're going to move on to the final question. Lisa, could you tell us any one piece of advice you would like to give to newly engaged wedding couples or engaged couples?
Think about the entertainment before the end. So give it a thought, and if you don't know exactly what you want, you can still go to your supplier, your entertainment supplier, and say, I know I want entertainment, but I don't know exactly what I want or how it's going to tie in. But then you've managed to secure your booking for that day
Yeah.
with the supplier that you want.
Yeah.
You don't need to have every detail exact, but make sure you secure the date with them, especially going into 2021. It's going to be a busy year. There will be double the amount of bookings. So people are going to get booked up really fast. So I think don't leave the entertainment until the end, because it might not be there, especially next year. Things are going to be gone. So just make sure you get everything done earlier rather than later.
Absolutely. I think you're right there, because if you have got something in mind, if you fall in love with a certain supplier or a certain entertainment act for your special day, a lot of these guys that do entertainment, obviously you work with so many different suppliers, and you're probably one of those people that if you can't get this person, you will be able to find another person, which is great to work with yourself and your agency. But a lot of these guys are one-man show, a band that can only get booked for a certain date. So, yeah, I do stress that to a lot of couples as well, especially for next year, but also for future dates as well. If you've got something in mind and you're not quite sure, have that initial conversation. You can firm things up later down the line as well, but just making sure that you have that initial conversation about something that you've considered for your entertainment is super important. And consider things early as well, as much as possible. There might be things that pop up later, and you might want to have a conversation again, but making sure that you firm things up initially, proficiently, is a good advice for newly engaged couples. Perfect, guys. We are finishing the last question, the last official question for Lisa. So I just wanted to again reach out to yourselves and make sure that you can pop your questions in the comment box below. Like I said, this is a one-off, a special interview that I've organized with Lisa. Lisa is available. She's got over 25 years experience in the entertainment sector, and she can tell you absolutely everything about fun and entertaining and impressive wow entertainments available for weddings. So make the use of this time with Lisa. Lisa, is there, while we're waiting for our guests to come up with their questions, is there anything in particular that you would want to pass on or discuss with couples, or something that you've been particularly inspired about in your career? Some entertainments that you absolutely love yourself, and why you love it as well?
Yeah, so my favorite act is 100% are LED ballerinas.
Oh.
So I think it's so elegant for a wedding.
Yep.
And it just gives it a little bit of something without, if you're not looking for something completely unique or completely different, it's subtle enough that it gives a bit of entertainment without being, wow, I've got the whole circus at my wedding, because we know everyone doesn't want that. And I just think the ballerinas they're so pretty and so elegant that it just works. It works so well.
Have you ever been in a position where you've maybe attended an event, and I'm sure you will have potentially, but you've attended an event, you've been inspired by something you've seen at a wedding or an event, and you thought, oh, we need to get these guys involved in what we do as well?
All the time. So I once got off the tube and there was a man playing I think it was a trumpet.
Right.
And there was it a trumpet, or I think it was a trumpet, yeah. And there was fire coming out the end of it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, we need him. Like, I need him. So I went up to him and put my card in his little bag instead of giving him. Well, I gave him some money as well, but I gave him. He got in touch and registered with us. So I think I see acts everywhere, no matter where I am. I'm always like, you need to come and work with us, to anyone that I find. So I'm always on the lookout, no matter where I am.
It's so interesting, so inspiring to hear that story as well, because you always and often see this, especially on YouTube and on social media nowadays as well, that talent just grows everywhere, and we sometimes are not maybe aware of it, or we've not heard of this before. I remember this lady that was singing at weddings for so many years, and then this guy asked her to sing a couple of words to a song, and then she was just bolting it out. And the next thing, she was the biggest thing in the world, traveling and speaking to Ellen on her show and stuff like that. So, and you can tell with you that you kind of breathe and live that ethos that you always look out for talent and new opportunities to do some entertainment for your events as well.
Yeah, you don't stop. It's always on your mind. You're always thinking about what can we do? What can we do that's different? Everyone wants something different. So we're always looking. No matter I sit on YouTube for hours searching through what people are doing, looking through Instagram. So you don't switch off from it. You are literally always looking for the next new thing that people can have.
You can say that you live the RubyLemon style here with that one. Definitely, that's amazing. We've actually got another question from Holly, so I'm just going to pop it up on the screen. What's the latest you could book something if you suddenly realised you had extra budget? It's a good question.
The night before.
Wow, really? As quick, as close as that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't guarantee that you're going to have the exact act that you want, but there's always something we can
organize
pull out of our hat to give people. We get it a lot, kind of people have realised suddenly, oh, I've got 10 kids coming. I need to keep them entertained. Now I need a face painter last minute. Yeah. And we can, things like that we can source very last minute. Maybe if you've forgotten your band and you need that at the end, you've got a big problem. But yeah, like there's always something we can find, and always something we can do for you.
That's amazing. That is brilliant. And it's good to know that as well, that you're so open to actually working with couples. And I think you're absolutely right with talking about the band. You might not be able to organise a band the night before, but if a couple is looking for something so close to the wedding that you can't quite get that, you might be able to replicate it with something close to that or another idea. You can discuss so many different angles at entertainment as well. Holly says, oh wow, that's amazing. And I agree. Being able to reach out to yourself, who deals with so many people out in the industry, you will be able surely to pull something out at last minute, which is great. And I'm sure.
I actually enjoy last minute thinking, what can I get together in a hurry? And I enjoy the quick, we need to find something now.
Brilliant.
I think that's quite fun. I enjoy the challenge, to be honest.
Brilliant. Absolutely perfect. We love challenges, eh? Holly also says, if I wanted something you didn't have it available, would you help find something something else kind of similar?
Yeah, definitely. Currently we've got 2,000 acts on our books, and we're always looking for more. So we are always searching for new things. So if there's something not available, we can go out and find the closest thing to it for you, or suggest something even better that you could have.
Brilliant, fantastic. And that's again your experience and your creativity comes into play, particularly here as well, is being able to think of something on the moment and make sure that there is entertainment available if a couple has forgotten about it. So that's brilliant to know as well. Perfect, fabulous. Guys, I think we've covered all the questions so far. We've covered the official questions as well. If you've got any more questions, please do pop them in the comment box below. If you join us on repeat, make sure you comment #repeat in the comment box below as well. That way Lisa and I can attend to any questions or any comments after the live sessions are finished. Like I said, this session will be available on my page, the Wedding Guru Oscar, and also my group, the Fully Interactive Facebook Lives with the Wedding Guru Oscar as well. I will then upload the video over to YouTube, so you can always go back to it as well and easily find it online as well. Before we get finished up for today, I just wanted to tell you a little bit how I can support you in your wedding planning. I can ensure that you dramatically reduce the time you spend on your wedding planning. If you haven't seen my guide of 3 mistakes to avoid in wedding planning, expert advice for wedding couples, I highly recommend for you to download that. And the link is currently available up on the screen, which is bit.ly/Oscar mistakes -2 avoid. That guide is just 3 little steps, free of charge, completely available for you. You just need to pop your email address in the little box, and you will be able to download this free guide from me today. Hopefully that will help you with your wedding planning as well. In addition to that, I help couples with a range of things, anything from individual one-off consultations through on-the-day coordination, particularly popular with those couples that have selected a dry hire venue. And finally, I can do entire wedding planning from the moment of inquiry, sourcing venues, sourcing suppliers, planning the entire day, and on-the-day coordination as well. What I wanted to share with you, and actually something that relates back to what Lisa mentioned before, magicians are a very popular act for weddings in 2021. So I've got a pleasure to be hosting Elliot Bibby, magician, next week in my Facebook Live. That's Thursday the 27th of August at 6 p.m. Elliot will be joining me on Facebook as well with his live questions and answers as well. So I'm super excited to be hosting him. I've worked with him for years. He's actually internationally known. He has performed at the Festival Fringe in Edinburgh as well. And he is performing at so many different venues throughout Scotland and the UK as well. So that's next Thursday at 6 p.m. Pop that in your diaries, and we'll see you next week for a session with Elliot. Just to finalise, I just wanted to pop my details up on the screen. If you think there's something that I could help you with, I highly recommend booking my free 15-minute consultation. If you wanted to go through a couple of questions, a couple of tips, I do those sessions completely free, and there's no obligation and there's no commitment, so we can just have an informal conversation. Up on the screen, I'm also bringing up details for Lisa and RubyLemon. We've got her telephone number, the website, the handles for Facebook and Instagram, and also email address, which is info@rubylemon.com. Lisa's company is also known by another name, and I'll let Lisa explain this because you've told me about this, but I think it's best if it comes from you directly.
Yeah, so we also have another company called Invasion Angels that works with late night venues and more unique events, kind of, rather than weddings and corporate events. So that's Invasion Angels. We've had Invasion Angels for the past 10 years. So RubyLemon's our new baby, which has been around for about a year, but RubyLemon's we've had her for a long time.
Brilliant, fantastic. So all the details, all the contact details are up on the screen for you guys. You can check out the social media for RubyLemon and also Invasion Angels. You've got all of the contact details up on the screen as well. If you've got any questions, feel free to check out the social media for Lisa's RubyLemon and pop over to my Facebook page and Instagram as well. There's a lot of wedding planning inspiration and advice on all my social media channels as well. Just to wrap things up, I just wanted to say a massive thank you, Lisa, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. Share so much advice, so much experience with our lovely wedding planning couples. I wanted to thank everyone for joining us and engaging with the session as well and asking so many wonderful questions. Just finally, Lisa, is there any final thing you would want to mention to our wedding planning couples?
Book early because everyone is getting full. All of my cake making friends, wedding dresses, they're all getting full for 21. So don't wait much longer. And I'm sure venues are the same. So.
Absolutely. Perfect. Lovely, guys. Well, you have a wonderful evening. Again, Lisa, thank you very much for joining us. You have a wonderful evening, guys. And I'll see you next Thursday with Elliot Bibby at 6 p.m. the 27th of August. See you guys. Bye, Lisa.
Thank you.